Hi guys, welcome back to the next video. And in this video I want to discuss on how what we focus on is what we get. And much like we were talking about in the first video, is how we accept all this information that's coming into us and we have to first try it on to know whether it's right or wrong for us before we accept or reject the information. So what we focus on is what we're going to get. If we focus on negatives, we're going to receive negatives. If we're going to focus on positives, we'll receive positives. A big thing for me was when I was growing up, I went through a period where I actually looked for negatives because that's all I saw in people. That's the way I chose to accept the world around me, was pure negative. Everything was negative to me. So then what I started to be was negative. What I started to be was giving off negative emotion, giving off negative behaviors. And it was just a cycle that was out of control for me. And hence the reason why some people will accept me now for the change that I've made, or some people won't, because I think it's an all an act. I can tell you it's not an act. I worked really, really hard to let go of all that stuff. And that's the next part of it, is the stuff that you've got. Are you going to hold on to it forever? That's a serious question. Are you going to hold on to it forever? Are you going to allow your past to dictate your future? What we focus on is what we're going to get. So if we're focusing on the past, one massive thing that happened to me was in this one training, and I was doing with Sharon Pearson. She was facilitating a room, and she said we were talking about timelines, and she said, "Where do you see your timeline?" And for me, I saw it start here and work out. So the past here, future there. And she actually said to me was, "You make decisions based on your past experiences, right?" And I said, "Yes." And then I had to think about that. And I'm like, oh, I actually said the words out loud. Oh shit. All those memories and thoughts come through my mind about how those negative things that have happened to me, things that I've done, and I say to me because some of it was out of my control. The stuff that I've done, the stuff that I wasn't taking responsibility for, they were there in my mind every time I made a decision. Every time that I spoke, every time that I had a reaction to something, every time that I didn't think and I just did. And it put me in a place where all I was doing is doing the thing over and over and over again, not really learning my lessons. How many times have you ever been told that? Learn your lessons. Learn lessons where you're at. How do you do that? That was the one key thing for me, was how do I do that? And that training, I got that, was that what I'm focusing on is what I'm getting. So if I am focusing on my past and making decisions and taking responsibility for the old stuff, okay, and putting myself there all the time, and that was dictating my decisions and the way I was behaving today, well then, how am I moving forward? How am I learning my lessons? My lessons were to let go. My lessons were to understand that I did what I had to do then to survive then. Not because I actually thought I was a leader back then, but all I was a facilitator for people to connect, because they never hung around. I chewed up friends because I never really took responsibility for what was happening now and who I wanted to be now. I was making decisions back then in the now. And I really hope that makes sense to you. And I'm wondering if that's you. If this is you and you're up to this video now, I would love for you to post something on our Facebook community page and start a conversation about it, because I believe that we can all learn from each other. And your story is a beautiful story, regardless of how negative or positive you choose to make it mean. It's a beautiful story. And what you focused on in that story is going to be the key element to where you take yourself now. So now, as we stand here, I choose to focus on positives. And I ask questions like, what can I get out of this? What can I do with this? How can I create this? Not, am I going to be able to do this? What's going to be in it for me? All these self-centered questions. It's now, how can I make it better? This video series is a testament to that. I wanted to always give something to somebody in some way so that they could take it to the next level, because that's what I was taught by my mentors. And I never really understood how, until one day I had a conversation with a peer of mine who is a coach, and she said, I love listening to your stuff. I love your stuff. I love following what you post, what you say, and how you do it. And that changed everything for me. I thought, well, how do I impact that onto the people that really want it? And that's why this video series. So what I choose to focus on is what I'm getting now. I'm choosing to focus on positive, so now I have positive people in my life. Sometimes some of those friends that I had that were negative and are still negative now aren't in my life anymore, or not to the extent that they were before. They don't rule my life. They don't dictate my life the way I used to allow them to before, because I would drop me into that. If that's their stuff, that's their stuff. And sometimes I drag them along with me, which means I gave them mine. And I need for you to really understand that. I'm getting really personal here, and I really hope that you get something out of this in a way that is going to allow you to let go of the old and in with the new. Take you to where you really want to go. Understand what it is that you're focusing on. What is it that you focus on? Are you a very negative person, or are you a very positive person? Do you give, or do you take? Think of taking like a bank. You need to keep adding value in the value bank before you can take anything. This is the same with business. This is the same with life. They both coincide with each other. What you do in life is what you will do in business. If you are going to be a hugely successful entrepreneur, you can't always take, because eventually it will catch up with you. People will see it. Somebody will grow to a point where they go, hang on a second, that ain't right. And they challenge the status quo. And then all of a sudden, you're in negative territory again. So what can I give? And I think about this question: what can you give now, today, to somebody that will change the course of your life forever? That will change the course of their life forever? That will change the way you focus on things forever? What would that be? I really want you to think about that. Because for me, I went from focusing on what I could get, what I could have, what I could take to benefit myself, to what I could give. How could I give this knowledge and experience that I've got and had, and put it into a positive way to give to somebody else? That's where I'm at. That's where I was at. That's where I'm at now, and I'll continue to be there. I want to continue to give, because when I give, I'm getting looked after, because people are connecting with me, and that's all I've really wanted in my whole life, was to connect on a deeper level, because I love it. I love having conversations like these, because you don't get to have conversations like these with many people ever. And these are the important ones. These are the ones that allow you to elevate yourself to the place where you really always wanted to be. You've never wanted to sit back and get caught up with the drama and the negative and all the stuff that happens. We're not a TV show. We can leave the drama and stuff in the TV show. We want to take ourselves out into the world and do our thing. Whatever that is to you, whatever your thing is, go and do it. Don't allow it to sit back and wait for it to unfold and let life happen to you. Focus on the positive and get out there and do it. Go and do your thing, whatever it is. Don't allow it to sit back and allow it to unfold. You're better than that. You've got more than that. You were born to do it. Focus on how you can do it, not can you do it. So that's the end of that video. I trust that you got so much out of that. And if you're really connecting now, I know, and I trust you are, I know where you can take this, because I've taken it there. I've seen other people do it. And I know that this is more than, life is more than leading somebody, taking something, having a house, having a family. It's all that and more. And what you focus on is what you'll get. What you focus on is what you get. I could say it a million times until it etches in your brain. What you focus on is what you get. And you can be happy. You can be challenged. You can be whatever it is you want to be. All you need to do is focus on the things that will get you there. What feelings do you need to focus on having to do that? What values do you need to have to be able to do the thing you want to do? What belief systems do you need to believe to know are true to get you to where you want to go? What is it that you need? Not what you had. It's done. It's gone. You've got no control over that. Where that is where it is. It can stay back there. Let's take it to the next level here, now. What is it that you can focus on to get you where you want to go? So that's the end of that video. Stay tuned for the next one. I trust you got so much out of that. See you in the next video.